Hello, everyone. So, I wanted to share a two-part vision that Jesus gave me and also allow him to bring insight about these visions. So, in the first vision, I was walking through a forest and I was walking behind a woman who was dressed as if she was from the 1500s, but she looked like a warrior and she was walking alongside her horse. I couldn't see her face. It was really foggy around us and the sky was red. We then came to an open field that was surrounded by a wall, and there were other people on horses around. The ground then opened and shut as if it was a mouth that was breathing in and out, waiting to swallow someone up. Then it appeared as if a game was about to start, and I saw various people being forced to go near the pit, and it looked like different celebrities. So then the vision shifted to the second part, where I was in a room and there was an individual that looked like a young man. He was tied to a chair in the middle of the room and he had on a gray jumpsuit with a black mask that covered his whole face and eyes with his hood on. I looked around and saw people behind the glass running tests on him, and then all of a sudden he was thrust backwards against a wall by an invisible force, and a metal clamp squeezed his neck as he screamed for his life until he was eventually dead. Jesus spoke. There is a mass exodus of people who have been controlled and manipulated by agents of Satan or elites of the world. So many are not as they seem. So many things that you see portrayed on television and the news media are not what they seem. 99% of everything on your TV and phone screen is completely false and fabricated, my children. Dominique, you've noticed this and you felt your leeriness of things. Were you being judgmental? Even though you have fallen into judgment with some things, in this case, you have not, and it was me revealing this to you and opening your eyes. So much of the crime reported on the news is false. It has been set up by people who were engineered to play the part instructed by them. You've often said you feel as if you live in a movie, and that's exactly what you're a part of. Everything inhumane and perverted that you're witnessing is a new part added to the biggest stage show ever conducted. It didn't seem real because it's not real. And, just to add on more to what Jesus is saying here, he was just really revealing more to me that and revealing more to us that there is just so much here. There's so much going on around us that we think it's one thing because it's being presented to us in a certain way, but it's not. It's totally false. And even with the two visions, it was concerning people who are the most susceptible to influence. And those are people who are famous. Those are different celebrities. And even the vision where the young man was being tested and, he was thrust against the wall and, he was killed by having his neck, being squeezed to death. He represented a actor or a plant being placed in different situations. you know Especially what's coming to my mind, what God's bringing to my mind is even situations of you know so-called police brutality or other things like that. A lot of the people involved in these different stories about people who are dying at the hands of police, a lot of that is fabricated, you all. God is saying a lot of that is fabricated. A lot of that is not real. It is only created to rouse up hate and division among all God's people. And so he wants us to be careful, and he is exposing this because he needs us to understand that once again, I've said this in previous messages, we have to use discernment. We can't just believe everything that's put in front of us. And I think for too long, all of us have just believed that everything the news is saying is true. Everything that the government says is true. We should just take every single person who has on a suit or who has more money than us, who's in a higher position of power. We should take everything they say as law and totally believe that no one has any ill will or any hidden agendas. Everyone is being 100% honest and they would never hurt people because they're a human. Like, no, those are all just really misconceptions and it's not real. we have to understand that we are dealing with people in the world right now who are very calculated, and they know what they're doing. They know what to do. They know what to put in front of us. And we have to be just 5 steps ahead. And the only way we can be steps ahead is by staying close to God and asking him to reveal things to us as we're seeing them. Like, Lord, is this true? Is this something that I should take in? Is this something that I should listen to? And he will reveal to us, like, no. And it's gotten to the point now where, I will watch a lot of different things, and almost immediately God will tell me, no, like, don't listen to that. That's not true. That's false. He will put things in my spirit, or I would just have a feeling in the pit of my stomach where it's like something's not right about this. And I used to discard that and just say, nope, that's just me kind of being paranoid. But no, when I have that feeling, and both myself and my husband, we both get it. Like, wait, something's not right, because we have the Holy Spirit and we seek God about everything we do. We go and we ask him, Lord, should we go this direction? Should we go that direction? And we ask him to reveal the truth to us every single day. And a lot of things he may not just come right out and say this or that, but he will, use his spirit to communicate with us to our spirit and say, this is what you need to do, or don't look at this, don't go there, don't do that. We'll just have feelings that will tell us that something isn't right, and we have to investigate that. And when we get that feeling, that's when we need to go to God and say, Lord, I'm feeling something about this. Is this from you or is this me? Because sometimes it is us. Sometimes we can be paranoid, or we can have a preconceived notion or judgment about something, and that can make us, make different emotions come about. But a lot of times it may not be that. It may be God warning us and saying, no, this was me warning you to not look at that information, not, ingest that information into your eyes and your ears and your heart, but to reject it, to go to something else, because that's not what I want you to be looking at. That's not what like, no, this is false. This is not the way it's being presented. It's not being presented correctly. So he just wants us to be aware of this, because there's so much deception going on, you all. It's so much going on. And we can't think that we live in la la land and everybody is being truthful and honest to us, because they are not. We have to understand we're dealing with other humans who lie, who cheat, who do so many horrible things. And I'm not saying that to say that everybody is, just the most horrible thing in the world. But what I'm saying is people who are not submitted to God, completely, you really have to be careful when they're, going to the beat of their own drum and they're not being led. They have no morality. They have no sense of, what's good and what's evil. Then you can't trust them to be honest with you. You just can't. You have to trust God. You can't put all of your faith and trust in man. You have to put it in God and allow him to direct you to the right people or to the right things. And that's really what he's saying here. So I pray that you would just be more mindful after this message. I pray that you would pray and ask God to just reveal more to you just about the things you're watching and you're listening to. Ask him to reveal it, and he will. I know he will. And thank you so much for listening, and God bless you.